Hi, how are you? Welcome. Welcome to Bouncing Back. Uh, my name's Fiona Mocklin, and I'm thrilled to be here and share a little bit with you. And I know we're all going through trying times right now, um, but I just wanted to share a little something. I wanted to share about the best things. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but I see a lot of people panicking and a lot of people hoarding and a lot of people are afraid. Um, I want you to think twice when you turn the TV on because the media is probably one of the worst things you can do right now is to pay attention to the media because the media literally is telling us to be afraid. And the worst thing we can do right now is be fearful. Excuse me, one second. So, what I would like to suggest is that you spend a little bit more time breathing, if you can, in some meditation, in some deep work inside your body with your spirit, because it's a place you'll find calm, you'll find peace, you'll find balance. I'm speaking from a place of finding really, really serious healing from this. I've gone through some very, very major health issues, and I've had to work mind, body, spirit to really heal. And I'm really healing. It's quite incredible. I'm now come to a place where a majority of all my physical ailments, my fingers were getting numb and um, at night when I would sleep, and they were quite painful. And that is subsiding now. So I'm just really thrilled that, I still have to watch things. I have to watch things. I have to balance. I have to add this, take this out. I'm constantly working with my diet. Uh, I'm also working with my spirit because I have to stay calm. I have to stay calm and balanced in order. I have to keep the stress level low. It's so important because without keeping the stress level low, that creates all kinds of havoc inside the body and in the mind. And if it's in the mind, it gets in the body, and vice versa. So, what I want you to do is really think about whatever it is that helps you to calm down, whether it's taking long walks. God knows we have time for it. You just, there's not a lot of people out. I mean, I walk my dogs twice a day, every day, and I don't see a lot of people. Some days I do see more people than others, and we just sort of everybody's sort of being polite and keeping their distance. But I'm also having a lot of really good conversations with a lot of neighbors because I think there's a lot of people out there that feel isolated and aren't getting to see that many people right now. Because whenever it's mandatory, whenever you're told that you can't, of course you feel the need that you need to. You want to. Now, if we weren't mandatorily told that we, need to stay away from each other, we probably would be like, not interested. I don't want to see people or talk to people. But it's because, we're given a limit. We're told we can't, that then we especially want to. Um, and it really doesn't mean you can't speak to people. You just don't go up and hug them, you know. I actually saw one of my neighbors today, and she's an elderly lady, and she's a little hunched over, and I didn't know, but apparently her daughter's living with her now. I didn't know that. And I just, my immediate gut reaction was I asked how she was, and she smiled and she said, "Thank you so much for asking." And first I waved hello. Then I asked her how she was. And then I said, if there's ever anything you need, I would be more than happy to help you. And she said, I've got everything I need, but thank you. And I think it's so important to let each other know that we're here for each other. Um, because you read so many stories or see so many stories of people, hoarding this and being that, and they're all me, 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 me. But there's also a lot of people out there that are being really conscientious of each other and helping each other. They are, at least where I live. And I'm proud, really proud to see that, because, it's what we need to be doing all over the world, is caring about each other and helping each other. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a few little tips. If you're going to watch TV, watch a movie. Pick a movie or pick something. Don't watch regular media TV, because every other thing is coronavirus. And right now, that's the last thing you need. And the media is not really truth-based. I really do not pay attention to, a lot of what the news says. I mean, it's fear-based, to be honest with you. And it's about, let's get everybody into this state of panic. And that's the worst thing we could do right now. You watch when this is over. I mean, I've looked back and I've looked at all the different times we were warned about this is the worst pandemic, flu possible. I'm not making light of this in any sense, but we've been through this. I mean, I'm older than some of you, and I've lived through several times of this, and it's like, okay, I'll take it seriously. I'll be cautious. I'll be careful. I am not going to, I don't go many places, so I'm pretty quiet as it is anyway. But I'm being cautiously careful for others, and I don't want to instill fear in them. So, but we really have to be, it's really, just be careful about what you're doing, what you're watching, your radios, because it's constant barrage. Oh my God, it's getting worse. Oh my God, it's everywhere. Oh my God, it's killing people. And my personal opinion, I would rather watch something that I know is factual. I do not trust her media at all. So anyway, that's my personal opinion. I don't want to throw that on anybody else. But I think just be careful what you're doing. There's wonderful, good books out there right now. This is a really great time to utilize your time. I had a woman say something funny to me the other day. She walked past me. She was walking with her daughter. And I don't think she realized what she said, because, I was out with my dogs walking. And she said, "Oh, the poor dogs, they must be going crazy." And I thought to myself, no, actually, the dogs are actually really happy, because I'm seeing people and dogs that are out that I have never seen before. So, I think the dogs are thrilled. They've got their people at home all the time right now, and they're getting out for walks that a lot of them don't necessarily get as many, because, their people work. So, I know, animals are just thrilled. But, there's so many things, to go out in nature, be with animals, just get out and move your body. Do some creating, do some drawing, do some singing, do some dancing, do some building, you know, uh, do projects that you've been putting off for God knows how long that you just haven't had time for. I had a dad say something to me, which was absolutely really wonderful. He said, I'm getting to spend time with my kids. And I, which I normally don't, I normally don't have this time to spend with them. So I'm treasuring it. And I thought, right on, that's great. That's wonderful because, he's taking advantage of the fact that he's with his little babies and they're growing up and they're going to not be babies for that long. And so he's really enjoying the time he's getting to spend with them. So I just want to stress, because all of this goes back to, once again, to healing and to your body. This is a time when the last thing you want to do is get your body into a state where your immune system is weakened. And your immune system is weakened by how you take care of it physically, what foods and drinks you use and take, but also by how much stress is in your body. How much stress do you carry? How are you functioning? If you can get through the day without, putting yourself through all this trauma, think about how much easier it is on your body. Spend a little time just sitting quietly, even if you don't like to meditate. Just sitting with yourself and sitting quietly is wonderful. Clean out your garage. There's all kinds of things. I know one of my girlfriends is going room for room and going through all her stuff. And I think that's great. I mean, I spent hours today cleaning, and it needed to be done, and it felt good. Cleaned inside and outside. But do whatever it is that's good for your body, what feels good for your soul too, because you want to stay as healthy as possible, and you want to continue. I mean, I'm just so, my immune system, I guess, would have been considered compromised because I had all these other issues, but I don't feel like I am compromised in any way, because I feel like actually every day I'm getting stronger. My voice is getting better. All my symptoms are getting better. So it shows you how strong we are and how resilient we are and how much we really do have the ability to really conquer whatever we need to conquer and whatever we need to do. But we have to think, you have to really realize that you can, and you have to step into that, and you have to believe that with all your heart. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that I can get 100% better, that I can survive from all this, that I can bounce back, and that I can help others. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I can't sit here and tell you what medically to do. I can tell you what worked for me, and then I can help you with your mind and your spirit, because that's where so much of the problem is we let things start to take over, and we start to panic, and then we start to get it's this like this hamster wheel that you get wrapped up in, and you can't get off, and you don't know how to get off, and you don't know how to shake it, and you get panicky, and you get worried. And I've already had situations where, it's in my book, but I've gone down cliffs. I was hit by a car when I was just about 21 years old, and I got hit by a car and knocked down a 30-foot. Well, I got knocked down a 100-foot cliff. I fell 30 feet, and I broke my femur, and I was left. It was a hit and run, and it was at night. And every time I came to, because I completely passed out, I would move and my body, the bone in my leg had not gone through the skin. So the bone would then, move and I would pass out again because the pain was so horrific. It's the biggest bone in your body. And I remember I'm laying there and I talked to my dead mom. And I would say, Mom, I need your help. I have no idea where I am. I actually thought I was buried in a hole. I didn't know I'd fallen down a cliff because I couldn't see the sky. I mean, the first thing I thought of when I was laying there was find the sky. And I couldn't find it. Unbeknownst to me, I had so many, since I rolled for so long, I had so many twigs and things on me that blocked my vision from being able to see the sky. But when I was down there, I thought, what the heck am I going to do? I have no idea where I am. I've obviously broken something. I'm not in good shape. And it's nighttime. And on top of it, it started to rain. So, I've been through situations like this. So I honestly have learned panic gets you nowhere. Fear gets you nowhere. So that's where I get a lot of my stability with not panicking, with not going to fear, because that's the first of several different situations I've had near death. And when my book comes out, you can read all about it. But anyway, I mean, it just, when you've been there and you've gone through that, it's like you just take everything, take a deep breath, and you step through I now look at everything that happens to me as it's a gift for me. It's something for me to learn from. It's something, that if you can look at it in a different perspective as what is there in this to teach me, rather than why did this happen to me, you may actually find very interesting lessons and gifts that come along with things that you would think of as a negative or as a mishap or something difficult to get through, actually could be something that's actually probably one of the most amazing things for you, and the biggest lessons and the most amazing growth you can go through. I can now go back to that time when I was down there, and I had some of the most amazing things happen to me. I mean, I had my mother come to me. My mother had been dead. She died when I was 18, so a couple years. And, I remember when I called out to her and I started talking to her, she came to me. And I remember, here I am in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where I am. I have no idea how I'm going to get out. And all I could think was, oh my God. So there is no death. What is death? Because she was there with me. Now, I didn't physically see her. My gift was that I actually, she didn't show herself to me, but she was speaking to me, and I could hear her clearly, and I could feel her there with me. I could feel her presence and her spirit, and I could hear her as clear as could be. And I remember just thinking, wow, so here I am, in the middle of this trauma, wondering what am I going to do? And all I can think about is, so what the heck is death? Why are we all worried about death? Because she's here. So it was, and so now when I look back on that whole situation, it was like that was my first connection with a spirit that had passed, my mom. And what a gift that was to get to see my mom or get to feel her and know that she was not what my presumed mind had said death was, which was dead and buried and gone. And that wasn't true. So, um, I now can look back and think, what a gift that was. And, it also changed my life. I ended up in having to move from where I was. I had to go back home and be with my dad. So I had to go and experience a lot of different things. And I had to go back to the house that was my parents' home. And that was really difficult because I never dealt with my mom's death. And so I had to sort of go back and start to revisit some of the feelings because you have to sort of allow yourself to process the things you go through. It's to see. You don't have to go into a deep, I got to think about this and work on this for months and months and months. I don't think that's necessarily something that each person has to do. But I know for me, it was something I had never looked at, and I had to really sort of look at, and I had to allow it to be that had really happened, because I was at an age I didn't know how to allow. I didn't really understand death, for one, and the rest of my family, was going through their own way of processing it, and nobody in my family talked about it. So we didn't really. I mean, I think it was a while later, but I actually made my dad come visit me, and made him watch the movie Terms of Endearment with me. I think he hated it, sitting there and watching it, because it was so raw, and it brought up everything, about of losing my mom. And I made him watch it with me, and I bawled my head off with him in the room. And poor guy, he's sitting there going through his own stuff, but he didn't allow himself to talk about stuff, and he didn't, from what I could see, he didn't seem to show any emotion about it. I know it hurt him very deeply, and it was his own, suffering. But I think he'd gone through his own things in his own life as a child, and so his way of grieving it was hard, and he would shut down, and he would close off, and he would keep things inside. And of course, I needed to let this out. I needed to share this. I needed to talk to this with somebody that I loved, that had been through the same loss. And so I'll never forget that poor guy. I think he was just so ready to go once that was over. He wanted to get out of there. He was so uncomfortable. But he was a dad. He was my dad, so he stuck it out with me. But anyway, I'm sharing all this with you because I think it's just so important, right now, especially right now, because, although, this platform is for me to talk to you about my book and about healing and self-healing, it also pertains to, stress. And that's what we're going through all right now. So a lot of people are, anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to say, try to stay as clear and as calm as you can. Try to do a lot of, do some fun things. This is a time that you've got that's been given to you, and we all got to get through it. There's no point in worrying about it. There's no point in sitting here and going, what am I going to do? How is this going to affect my future? I can't go to school. I can't work. I'm going to lose my job. I mean, worrying about all those things isn't going to change the fact of where you are right now, and it's not going to make them better. So try to stay out of that and stay off the TV. Stay off at least the mainstream TV. Watch a movie, watch a fun movie, watch a loving movie. I would not suggest watching a war movie necessarily. Is not probably the best thing to do, but to each his own, no judgment here. So anyway, I just wanted to reach out and say hi. We're doing great here. We're just plugging along each day. And like I said, I'm getting better and better and healing. And this is a fascinating journey. And every day is something new. So I just keep trying to go each day as it comes and enjoy the gifts that come each day and breathe into whatever comes up, because, things come up. Things come up for everybody. There's always something that's coming up. I mean, I had to get, as we all did, we did get an extension on our taxes, but I got my taxes in before all this hit, and so I had to go pick them up, and they were ready, and so I went to go pick them up, and lo and behold, I didn't open them the first day. I thought, okay, that night, I thought, I'll open them tomorrow and see how much money I have to dish out now. And so when I opened them, I was absolutely blown away because my tax man at the top wrote, no payment is due this at this time. He gave me a gift doing my taxes and not charging me. And I was like, wow, what a beautiful thing to do. And, it's such a time, he's known I've gone through some struggles with some, my health and stuff, but, I've never gotten into anything explicit, but I he knew a little bit. And I guess he wanted to gift me. And it touched my heart so much. And I reached out and, thanked him very, very much because it was such an honor and such a gift to my heart. Made my heart really sing because it just shows you people are really, and this is one of the reasons why I say stay off the media, the mainstream media, because they tend to put out the most horrible things that are happening, the worst things that are happening, the worst in people. And there's a lot of good going on. There's a lot of good and a lot of beauty and a lot of kindness. And I'm seeing it daily. I'm seeing people being really good to each other and really kind and asking about each other and offering to help each other. And it's just beautiful. I really love the fact that people are reaching out to each other and really helping each other at a time like this. Because that's important. It's so important to let each other know that we're all here for each other. We're all one, Anyway, I love you all so much, and I thank you very, very much for coming and listening to me and allowing me this wonderful platform to speak from and let me spread a little bit of something, hopefully a little bit of positive reinforcement or joy or I do love you all, and I wish you all well, and I wish you all to be safe and take care of each other. But the most, I wish you all love. And I will be back soon. And I'm sorry it took me a while, but I was off for a week. I had a bunch of stuff coming up, but I will be back soon. And take care. And I'll see you soon. Bye.